You going brazen.
Do it for the family, do it for the city, do it for the ones that's no longer with me. Yeah. Do it for the family, do it for the city, do it for the ones that's no longer with me. Yeah, I've been grinding.
Hello and welcome to the Marte Show. This is your host Marte coming to you here with the latest NBA news about Bradley Beal. We have odds that were just released for Bradley Beal's next team. And we have the top 5 teams as Boston Celtics, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Miami Heat, Brooklyn Nets, and the Atlanta Hawks. I've also been hearing about the Dallas Mavericks pairing up Bradley Beal with Luka Doncic. Heard that earlier on First Take. I've been hearing, or not hearing, but I've been seeing a lot of the Lakers fan base pushing for a Bradley Beal signing. So I've been seeing that all over the place. I've been seeing the Miami Heat as well. He does make a great fit in Miami. However, how does that work as far as the salary cap? It's all very interesting. The Lakers too. I mean, I don't understand how the Lakers can add a player like Bradley Beal, especially with the money situation they're going through, the financial situation they have, and their willingness to let go of a first-round pick into the future. I mean, they only have their next pick, I believe, is in 2027, and they did not want to go ahead and pair that up with Russell Westbrook. So, yeah, I don't know how the Lakers can go ahead and make a splash in landing Bradley Beal. However, the Boston Celtics, again, are number one in the odds to go ahead and add Bradley Beal. And you have to take a listen onto the recent interview with Bradley Beal and Taylor Rooks on Bleacher Report, or actually take a watch, and you'll see that Bradley Beal is dressed in green. He also stated that he's made up his mind on where he's going to play next year, and he's declined to give any type of indication of where. I would put money on it that Bradley Beal is going to join the Celtics next year. It's very well documented in the Celtics fan base. When you go into the Instagram pages and you go ahead and look into the Reddit pages, you know, the forums with the Boston Celtics, they've been saying that this is a lock since last season. And you can even take a look into Bradley Beal's Instagram page. I understand, you can't just take it as face value when players are being subliminal about their future moves. But it seems like a lock to the Celtics fan base. It would be a great addition for the Boston Celtics and their quest for a championship. I've been seeing as well that Marcus Smart would be added into a possible sign and trade. The Celtics do own a trade exception as well. So that could go to the Washington Wizards. I don't see a drop-off on the Celtics if they were to go ahead and make a trade with Marcus Smart. It would make a lot of sense to go ahead and plug in a player like Bradley Beal. It would actually elevate the Celtics offense, and you won't see so many stagnant stretches like you did during the NBA playoffs this year. You could go ahead and look at Bradley Beal's stats and compare them to Marcus Smart. Obviously, they're both night and day on offense, but Bradley Beal is not a slouch as well on defense. And you got to remember that coaching does play a factor on these teams performing on the defensive end. I mean, everybody likes to go ahead and shoot the ball and run down the court to shoot that ball, but no one wants to come back and play on defense. And you kind of have seen the difference in teams' success this season. I mean, you had the Pelicans making the NBA playoffs this year, not the Los Angeles Lakers. And a lot of that has to do on the defensive end. Ime Udoka definitely came in this year and set the tone for this squad and was very persistent on shaking off the bad habits they carried. You did see some of the bad habits come out and play during the NBA playoffs, but it's a big upgrade from the previous season. And hearing a name like Bradley Beal being added to the Boston Celtics, you just go back to that interview. It's just the beginning. You could always start with shit, but never end with shit. And that's what the Boston Celtics are looking to go ahead and do and win that NBA championship. Now, does it make sense for Bradley Beal to go to a team like the Miami Heat? That only happens, again, through a signing trade. And I don't know what Miami would go ahead and give up to make that happen. I mean, I understand Kyle Lowry's out there. Other than that, I don't know what else is tradable. You have Victor Oladipo. You have Gabe Vincent. You have guys out there. But I don't think the Miami Heat is a place where Bradley Beal wants to go and play. Portland is very interesting when you look at the Olympics. The Olympics of last year, after the Milwaukee Bucks won their championship and training was going on and Japan was going on, Bradley Beal, Jason Tatum, and Dame Dollar, their chemistry was very well documented in photos and with their children. I can see where something like that does happen and Bradley Beal ends up joining Dame Dollar. That possibly was a recruiting session right there. And that would make Portland a very formidable contender and kind of knock off the whole, Portland can't bring in a star. So that would be very interesting to see happen. Again, I can't see the Lakers happening at all. The Dallas Mavericks is another interesting situation for Luka to go ahead and walk into. And Luka Doncic paired with Bradley Beal. Wow. Plus, the Mavericks have Christian Wood now. Dallas would be very dangerous if that were to happen. Luka Doncic, when it's all said and done, top 10 NBA player of all time. Other than that, that's the news I have for you. Bradley Beal possibly signing with the Boston Celtics for next season. Now, that's it for the Marte Show. If you like this video, please click like. And if you want to be in tune when my content does release, please subscribe.